Bashar.
Yes.
As far as reincarnation goes,
yes.
On an individual basis,
yes.
How, as far as all realities exist right now, how,
yes.
How
that's why we prefer to say multiple simultaneous incarnation as opposed to reincarnation, because it only appears to be reincarnation from within your time-space framework. So they all exist at the same time.
In a sense of planning for me, I would like to get to know more of my realities.
Go right ahead.
Now.
However you wish to do, that's up to you.
Now, I've found a way to do it by just scratching the surface, and then it kind of flushes in.
All right. All right. Whatever works for you is fine.
But this is something that is possible.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You must understand that there is always cross-communication between the different lives.
Right.
Always.
Always.
So it's not a matter of having to make that happen. It's just a matter of tapping in.
And noticing.
And it's a matter of understanding what part of that cross-communication might or might not be relevant for you.
Okay.
Now, what many of you also don't know and don't need to know, because it might just simply clog up the process, is that you are always receiving information from different experiences you're having in different lives, but you might receive that information in a way that only seems like an inspiration you had in this life. You might get an idea of something. You might get an inspiration. You may not understand that that may actually have come from an experience in another life. But the point is, you may not need to understand that.
Right.
So, whatever it is you need to know that comes from another life, when you need to know it comes from another life, you will, if you're open to it. You'll get the picture, you'll get the image, you'll get the feeling. You'll show yourself some sign or synchronistic symbol that will let you know that there's a connection. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
In other words, you might suddenly find yourself walking down the street and being inspired by a thought. And then you might suddenly, in the same moment, notice a sign, a picture, a symbol, or hear a word that for some reason transports you to thoughts of other times and other places. That might be a way that your synchronicity has of showing you that that thought, that idea actually originated in another life. Make sense?
Yeah.
But if you don't get that, it doesn't really necessarily mean you have to have that. It just may mean that you have the information, use the information as works best for you, and get on with your life. You don't need to stop and ponder, where did it come from? You follow?
Yeah.
But if it gives you joy to do so, then by all means be open to it and allow your synchronicity to give you those moments that show you and connect you to that idea. Now, of course, you can use any number of techniques. You can use the idea of hypnotherapy, regression, you can use meditation, you can use whatever you wish to get yourself to be put in touch with the idea of other lives you are having simultaneously. And of course, when I say you are having, I mean your greater oversoul is having, because you aren't having those other lives. You are this personality here. You understand the difference?
Yes.
It is your oversoul that is having all the simultaneous lives. Now, of course, don't forget, not only are there many different lives in what you would call one time stream, there are also an infinite number of parallel realities.
Right.
So there are also different versions of this you in different realities, on different earths, as well as different lives you may feel you have had in one timeline.
True. So would you say that imagination is key then?
It is. Magi Nation. You are a nation of magicians. Imagination is your connection to the dimension itself that touches all other realities. That's what it's for. You cannot imagine something that isn't somewhere real, because you cannot imagine non-existence. Anything you imagine is somewhere, somehow, in some reality, actually real.
Yes.
You follow me? Man. It may not be relevant to your reality here. It may not be physical or real as you understand it, but it's actually autonomously happening somewhere, somewhen, somehow, because you do not have the capacity to imagine non-existence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And give you a fuller understanding of exactly how multidimensional you are?
Yeah.
All right. Then I have done my job.
Yeah.